In this video, we're going to be taking a look at least common multiple. Now, you'll need to get out your Go Math book and turn to page 37, get out your math journal and a pencil. Now, let's first of all take a look at the essential question, which is how do you find and use the least common multiple of two numbers? So finding the least common multiple, let's look at what that is. So a multiple of a number is the product of the number and another number. For example, 9 is a multiple of the number 3. The least common multiple, LCM, of two or more numbers is the least number other than 0 that is a multiple of all the numbers. So let's take a look at what this looks like. So it says Ned is training for a biathlon. He will swim every 6th day and bicycle every 8th day. On what days will he both swim and bicycle? Now, in the chart below, shade each day that Ned will swim, circle each day Ned will bicycle. So I'm going to be looking at multiples of 6. So I have 6, I want you to do this with me, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, 72, 78, 84, 90, and 96. So we can see those are all multiples of 6. Now, let's take a look at every 8th day. We're going to be taking a look at multiples of 8. So we need to circle every 8 days. So do a different color of ink with this. So we'll start out 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. These are all multiples of 8. 48. So you can see some that are shaded in and circled. Those are common multiples. So we have 48, and then we have 56. We have 64, 72, 80, 88, and then 96. Okay, so we can take a look at this and we can see some common multiples here. So we have on what days will Ned both swim and bicycle? We can see 24 because 24 is both shaded in and circled. We can also see 48 is shaded in and circled as well. And we can see 72. And then finally 96. So these are all common multiples of both 6 and 8. Alright, so we can see that right here. So what does the least common multiple represent in this situation? We can see that the least common multiple, in other words, the multiple that's the least out of all the common ones, which would be 24, what that is, that's the first day that Ned will both swim and bicycle. So Ned probably is not looking forward to that 24th day of that first day he'll have to do it. Okay, so we can find least common multiple, list all the multiples out, compare the two lists, and then the number that's least, or that comes first in that list that's common for both of them, is the LCM. Okay, so let's look at applying the LCM. So let's look at example 1. The store is holding a promotion. Every 3rd customer receives a free keychain, and every 4th customer receives a free magnet. Which customer will be the first to receive both a keychain and a magnet? So we're taking a look at the common multiples, or the multiples of 3. So there's not a set amount of numbers that you want to list. I like to do the first anywhere from 7 to 9. So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. So you're basically just skip counting by 3. And the multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, and 36. So we've got to find the common multiples. You can see 12 and 24. All right, now the least common multiple, in other words, the numbers that are identical in both lists, but are the least out of all of them, would be 12. So you can see 12 is the least common multiple. Now what I want you to do is number 2 all by yourself, and I want you just to answer the least common multiple of 4 and 9. And you can answer it right on this line, but first you'll need to list the multiples of 4 and 9. So I want you to do that now. Okay, you should have the least common multiple of 4 and 9 is 36. So what you do is you list multiples out 4 all the way to 36. Or you could go further depending on what you would like to do, and then list the multiples of 9. Now when I got to 36 for 9, I know I could stop because that was the first one. So 36 is the least common multiple. Okay, I want you to take a look at the guided practice problem and complete that problem all by yourself, and you can complete that now. Okay, so the first question, on which visits will you receive a free beverage and a free appetizer? 36th visit and 72nd visit. Now, which visit will you first receive a free beverage and a free appetizer? So it would be the 36th visit. Okay, let's conclude the video on looking at the essential question check-in. So it says, what steps can you take to find the least common multiple of two numbers? Find common multiples of the two numbers. The least common multiple, or LCM, is the least multiple both numbers have in common. And I do want you to write that down as well in your Go Math book. So this concludes the video on least common multiple. If you have any questions about this concept, please come and see me.